Hi everyone, my name is Kayla and I'm an environmental enthusiast, and today I'm here with Wes Golomb, aka the Energy Geek, and he's here to talk a little about the new book that's going to be coming out in the coming months. So Wes, what can you tell me about this book? What's the title? What's the topic about?
Well, Kayla, when I got caught at home for COVID, I decided I had to do something to keep me from getting totally bored. So I collected all this information about houses that were really energy efficient and use renewable energy to power them. And I wrote a book about 5 of them. And it's called Warm and Cool Homes, How to Build a Healthy, Comfy, Net Zero Home You'll Want to Live in Forever.
Exciting. Very interesting. So, well, what is net zero? What does that mean?
Net zero means the house doesn't use any more energy than it produces. And the way this happens is by limiting the amount of energy they require, making them really energy efficient, and then providing the source of that energy to provide all the energy that they require. So net zero. And the reason it's called net zero is very often they, on a sunny day, put energy onto the grid, or they store it in a battery, and then at a time when it's not so sunny like today, they would draw off of the grid where they banked it, or off of the battery where they've actually stored it.
Interesting. That's very exciting, because I feel like any of the concerns I've ever heard about solar have a lot to do with people's questions of, well, what happens when it's not sunny? So that's exciting to hear more about the storage and the grid, and get people on board with it. Doesn't have to be sunny 100% of the time to be getting that solar energy. Why would you say that net zero is particularly important right now?
That's a great question. When you look at the big picture, you hear things like the U.S. and China are going to, for the first time, work together to limit carbon emissions. And you hear President Biden say, we're going to cut our carbon emissions by 50% by the year 2030, which is 9 years away. How are they going to do that? Well, 40% of that energy is from buildings. And a large percentage of those buildings are homes, particularly in this COVID era where everybody who possibly can is working from home. So we have a significant chunk of the energy we use in this country, which is from buildings. And buildings have a really high potential for saving energy. And we can build houses now that not only provide all their own energy without burning any fossil fuels, but even provide enough energy so that that car behind you, if it's electric, can charge up from them in the driveway. Hey, if you're building a house and it's going to be the same price or less in the long run to provide your own energy, what would you choose? The book is going to come with between 20 and 25 videos that will sort of highlight the various features that are talked about in the book, and will also feature the 5 homes that we followed.
And are these 5 homes, are they all new homes that are net zero, or are there variations?
Great question. Again, there's variations. There's one house that I believe they built it. It's a straw bale house that's totally off the grid since, I believe, 2005 or 2006. They've never been connected with the grid, and in one of the videos you'll see their batteries and how they use batteries all these years. But Kayla, this on a small scale is what we're trying to do on a larger scale with big energy policy when you hear Biden talking about being carbon neutral. That really and net zero are kind of the same thing.
So who would you say this book of yours is written for? Is it geared more toward builders who are building? Is it geared toward homeowners?
Yes, to both of them, but you don't need to have any background in building science or in building at all to look at this book. This book makes it plain and simple. As Bob says, Bob is the builder that I've followed for most of this book, and he's an award-winning net zero home builder, and he keeps saying it's not rocket science, anybody can do it. And they're just some simple, basic principles that if you look at them and follow them when you're doing new home or retrofit, that, will help your outcome. I've talked to a lot of builders over the years, and I think that this would be appropriate for them too. But Kayla, if you want to build a house, I recommend it. I spent my career teaching science to non-science majors, who weren't going to be scientists. That's who this is for. It's just for the average person. You're going to hear a lot about net zero homes. They make sense economically. They make sense environmentally. And if I could sneak this in, I think it's a responsible thing for people to do, to consider these things, because it's our obligation, knowing what we know about a climate crisis, that we should be doing what we can. So
do our part.
Here's some stuff that's easy. If you are building, if you're renovating, if you're retrofitting, have a look at this.
My final question really is, where can people get this book? I want to get my hands on this. Where do I go?
You'll find some links in this video, or you can go to theenergygeek.org. Right now, we're looking at around the July 4th, it said, hopefully, publication date of this book. But if you get on our mailing list, which is on theenergygeek.org, down at the bottom, or at the bottom right here, and while you're there, if you want to subscribe and like and do all that stuff, that's awesome. I appreciate it. You'll be able to buy it on the website. You'll be able to get it at Amazon.com. Who knows? Maybe even some bookstores if we get, some freedom back.
Yeah, that sounds very exciting. Well, thank you so much, Wes. I think that clears up some questions I'm sure people have had about the book. So here you have it, Warm and Cool Homes, How to Build a Healthy, Comfy, Net Zero Home You Want to Live in Forever. Release date, fingers crossed, on July 4th. Any links that you need are in the description of this video. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for watching.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
Wes.
Thanks a lot, Kayla.
About your book.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well.
Bye, folks.
All right,
Thank
stay
you.
safe and take care, everyone.